They say that history is the greatest of all teachers, and that tales of past deeds define who we are in the present, and what we shall be in the future. It is said that such tales shall, with each telling, illuminate us all with the light of truth. I shall tell you of such a tale. It is a tale quite familiar to me, for I have spent nearly a lifetime piecing it together and chronicling it here within this book. For years I have pondered its passages, studying every line, committing each word to memory. Perhaps now, in the telling of it, I shall at last find the answers I seek. Our story takes place in the northern region of Faerun, known as Icewind Dale. It is a harsh, frozen land, cut off from the rest of the world by a wall of jagged peaks called the Spine of the World. For centuries, the icy plains of the Dale have been home to the barbarian peoples of the Uthgard and Regedman. Huddled together in small, closely knit tribes, the barbarians lived simple lives, free, proud, and fiercely independent. Until the day an archmage named Ericon came to Icewind Dale. With an army of mercenaries, Ericon sought to conquer the north and force the fierce barbarians into slavery. Long weeks of battle followed, and the scattered barbarian tribes suffered terrible losses. Defeat seemed inevitable. In their darkest hour, a barbarian shaman named Jared came forth and demanded a council between all the remaining tribes of the north. A respected warrior, Jared persuaded the council to put aside their differences and unite against Ericon. Strengthened by a new sense of purpose, the barbarians rallied behind their new leader. The combined might of the Northmen proved more than a match for Ericon, who had counted on the division of the tribes. Wave after wave of barbarian warriors tore into Ericon's hired army, forcing them on the defensive and ultimately into full retreat. As his army crumbled around him, Ericon had time for one last desperate act before his enemies descended upon him. Drawing upon his remaining power, the Archmage breached the planar boundaries, tearing open a portal to the lower planes. The foolish Archmage's cries of victory immediately turned to shrieks of terror as the hideous and twisted shapes of demonkind materialized from the portal and poured onto the battlefield. The sudden appearance of the demons drove the combatants, barbarian and mercenary alike, to turn to meet the new threat side by side. The remaining warriors bravely charged the portal to drive the hellspawn back, and were slaughtered by the hundreds. As his people fell around him, the barbarian shaman, Jared, looked up from the blood-drenched snow of the battlefield and caught sight of a lone figure high upon a ridge in the distance. Jared immediately recognized this vision as an omen from his god, Tempus, and in that instant, he knew what had to be done. Shouting cries to his god, he charged through the ranks of the demons and plunged into the portal. As Jared's blood fused with the energies of the portal, an explosion of white light engulfed the battlefield. When the light subsided, the demons were gone, and the portal was closed. In its place hovered a disk of solid stone. Frozen within the center of the disk was Jared's body, locked in his final moment of agony, in his final moment of triumph for all eternity. But that is not the end of our tale. It is but the beginning.
What's this? New face in town, eh? Well met, stranger. The name is Hrothgar, originally of Hillsfar. But now, after years of traveling up, down, and under Faerun, I am content to call this town my home. While you're in my town, you do well to be on your best behavior. These folk are under my protection, and anyone who would seek to do harm to them in any way shall answer to me. That said, I'll let you get back to your cups. I'm sure you've had a long journey, and you'll find there's no better way to shake off the cold of the road than by downing a few mugs of Grisella's best. And if you're in need of lodging, I would recommend talking to Quimby over at the Snowdrift Inn over on the east side of town. Equipment and supplies can be purchased next door at Pomab's Emporium. Pomab's prices are a bit high, even for a Kalashite. But you'd be better off well-equipped and short of coin than the other way around. Ill-prepared travelers don't last long in these parts. Come by and see me at my house. It's just a couple doors west of here. There's some business I would discuss with you. Farewell.
Farewell.
Okay, so before we start, could you guys tell the audience about what your character is, why they're here, and I guess what they look like?
Fisk Five-Finger Dooley is a very friendly and keen-eyed gnome. What is known about him is that he has said that the Jewelers Guild kicked him out. Said my designs were too ostentatious. He goes on about that from time to time, but it seemed that he was on his last penny and had to join up with this caravan of some kind that ended up in this town. I'm not quite sure, actually, with all the details. We're going to work that out. But he is he has silver hair, but he's balding, so it's kind of like a skullet that hangs down. He has a little jeweler's monocle thing that he uses from time to time when he's investigating items and basically anything, looking around.
All right, Edelbrand.
Edelbrand is a cleric of the war god Tempus, charged by his church to accompany Dulindir on his quest of vengeance. He was brought up in the church to be a war cleric, both healer and destroyer. It is now his only purpose.
What does he look like?
He's half elven, tawny-haired, long, scraggly, has little care for his appearance, yet somehow still appears amiable, with somewhat of a commanding presence.
All right, so Dulindir is young for an elf. However, the small community of elves that he comes from had their immortality, their everlasting life, sapped from them by a group of malevolent wizards. Ever since then, he has sworn vengeance. And so he's latching on to these people who have more life experience than he does. But yeah, that's it. All right. So what is, we don't really have a mission yet, do we?
We have to go talk to Hrothgar.
So
he was basically just like saying this town is great. He likes it here, but we should come talk to him. Probably because he needs rats killed or something.
he's from Hillsfar. I have family there.
I do not know these humans or how they operate. This entire land is strange to me.
Something more important.
Well, listen, fellas, don't you worry. Fisk has everything under control. Sir Hrothgar here. We will meet with him shortly, but for now, we can enjoy a bit of a beverage. It's been a long journey, and we have new friends to enjoy here.
I do hope they have
Easthaven?
elven wine.
Not thirsty. I would like to go next door and see if they have something stronger than this staff I've been carrying.
Yes.
Did not
That didn't...
think to grab my weaponry before we left. Didn't think I would need it, and now I feel naked.
My supplies were all lost in the blizzard. This has been a torturous journey. We could get a couple things here, I think.
I shall order some elven wine. One moment. Do one of you want to be Grisella?
Hello there, dearie. Welcome to the Winter's Cradle Tavern. My name's Grisella. I own and operate this fine establishment. What can I get for you?
How about a drink? Elven wine, perhaps?
A drink? Of course, dearie. After all, this is a tavern. Plenty to drink here.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, well, you see, I'm in a bit of a bind right now. I've just run out of everything. I've nothing to offer you in the way of drink at this moment.
No spirits? That's it, I'm gone. My character goes over to the party and looks pissed off. The one thing I was looking forward to... never mind. What was that anger meditation you told me, Adelbrand?
Just breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, and envision your enemy's head being crushed by a hammer.
Yes, thank you. This one looks more of your sort, Adelbrand. Why don't you talk to him? Okay, I'll be this guy.
Well met. Why, you seem to me like a fresh new vein of ore, all untried and untested. I be Hildreth, should you wish to know.
Hildreth, isn't that sort of a feminine name for a burly dwarf warrior?
Oh, do you not have your head screwed on straight? I am a female friend.
Yeah, sure you are.
What? Do I nay look like a Oh, I see what it is now. Dwarven women have beards, friend.
That makes sense. Say, have you heard any news from around here lately?
I'm not all eyes and ears here. Mostly, I've been keeping to my cups to keep the chill away. But I have heard that a local sword named Hrothgar is putting together some sort of expedition. Sounds like it might be fun. I'll be going along myself.
Oh, what do you know about the expedition?
The folks round here say that Hrothgar be a valiant man, but not the type to go dashing off to his death. They say he be an excellent leader. We're headed up to the mountains to investigate some sort of disturbance up there. You'd best be talking to Hrothgar himself to hear the full story.
Well, if you're going, it must be a good trip. You seem like a seasoned adventurer. Farewell for now.
Let's look around here. We're all thirsty, but yeah, we do need to check that shop, don't we? We can always come back. Let's get some fresh air for a minute.
Indeed.
Smells like dwarf.
I'm surprised there's a Kalashite working up here.
And I, as a gnome, sir, do not approve. All right, let's look around
I
here.
believe the weapon shop is this way.
Pomab's Emporium, I see. I'm very perceptive, you know. Bumps into the shelf.
I am off.
Dulandir has like a rough voice.
I am off.
Okay, I'll be Pomab. What is this? More barbarians to come to my shop? No doubt with nothing to barter with but more wolf pelts and polished stones. Very well, let us get this over with. What do you want?
Barbarians, I think you're mistaken, friend.
Am I now? I do not think so. All of you northerners are the same to me. Smelly and barbaric.
Northerners? I take it you are not from around here.
I am Pomab Akazmir, royal diplomatic envoy of Kalimshan and appointed overseer of the northern caravan routes.
Sure, and I'm the king of Mithril Hall. Ha 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 ha!
Your poor attempt at sarcasm is an obvious sign of your lowly birth. I'll have you know that I am third cousin to the Pasha himself, not to mention a royal courtier in good standing.
If you're in such good standing with the Kalimshan, then what in the nine hells are you doing all the way up here in Icewind Dale?
The Pasha asked me to accept this post of overseer of the northern caravan routes as a personal favor.
Oh, you mean you were banished?
I would not expect someone of your station to understand such matters. Now, if you do not mind, buy something or leave.
Fine, what do you have for sale? Don't have any hammers, huh? Oh, yeah, you do. Does everybody have individual gold, or is that party gold?
It's party gold.
So my guy developed a way of fighting with... is it halberd? Did I choose? I'm pretty sure I chose halberd.
Yeah, if you want to check your record, hit R, and I'll tell you where you can look at your proficiencies on the right. You can scroll down.
Oh, yeah, my guy is all about staying away from wizards.
Yeah, you took double halberd.
Okay.
I'm dagger and dart, so I cost nothing, and I'm not even going to wear armor.
I will warm myself by the fire.
Oh, yeah. Fine mess we've gotten ourselves into.
Well, what do you mean by that?
Life in general, lately, but
Everything will be
No.
fine.
I agree. That's you pulled the words right out of my beard, you know.
Though there's something about this expedition that makes me curious.
Oh yes. Sorry.
That was me just going back in for more.
He's like, what? Do you want hummus?
Yes.
Yes.
Where's your comments?
I have many flavors of hummus.
I want some falafel and hummus, please.
Can we all do it at the same time, by the way? Can I show up at the same time?
I would assume so, can't you?
Oh, go ahead and try. Yeah, I don't know.
Do you mind if I buy a halberd?
No, do
It's
you
just
think?
your size.
Thank
Why would I care
you.
how we spend money?
Oh, right. You're a man of the cloth. Your human, half-human traditions confound me. I'm trying to be aloof and alien, and it's not really coming off well. I just sound like a jerk.
You see Fisk just buying handfuls of these war darts and slinging a whole bunch of these darts and daggers all. He's just, half of them he's slipping into his clothes, and you see him just disappears throwing daggers. Those are a bit expensive, so he's just going to stick with a metric F ton of darts and one dagger. That's it.
I don't mean to rain on your parade, my brothers, but our funds have been halved.
Again, I don't mind.
Remember, we got this from the guild's final donation to my efforts, my compensation. Of course, it's for the journey. We need this.
I must admit, Edelbrand, you do look more formidable.
If push comes to shove, would that money save our lives, or will this armor and hammer?
With that in mind, I'm going to spend some money. I would like some clothing.
Let's see here. Shiny.
You look ready to slay some wizards.
I am. Have you heard about the legend of Ericon?
I have not.
They say in this land, a wizard wrought chaos upon the tribes of Uthgard, and he unleashed demons and was turned to stone. I do not mean to drag you into this, but while we're here, we might want to keep our eyes out for that expedition. I want to explore these lands before we're snowed in.
And certainly, I have to get more fresh air. Excuse me. Pomab, you say? What is he cooking back there? Anyways.
Eat this curry.
Curry. Do you have Vindaloo?
What'd you say?
Do you have Vindaloo?
I don't know what that is.
Curry. It's
I'm
spicy
ignorant.
curry dish.
Yay!
Make sure we got everything.
Oh, what is that? Oh my, the smell, it is quite odoriferous.
It's goat.
It's goat.
It's the which part? It looks like the whole thing.
I shall do my best.
There seems to be a lot under the surface around here. I think, let's take our time and rest for a day as we supply ourselves and rejuvenate our spirits. What say you? And get to know each other a bit more.
Who are these
And
people
decide-
over here?
They're shorter than me. Not by much.
They're talking to a squirrel.
I can talk to squirrels. Are there
Don't
more gnomes?
poke the squirrel. Be kind to the squirrel.
Hello? What say you?
Is that a real blade?
I'm gonna ask if we can keep him. Back it with the stick.
These children seem retarded.
Indeed. Yes, give it some food.
Fisk does some kind of little chittering and sort of warning chitter to the squirrel, and it seems to respond.
Are you part squirrel?
Yes. But which part? I'll never tell.
2 elves? Is there another elf in town?
There's some elf with an enchanted blade up at the Snowdrift Inn. Didn't catch his name. Elven or something. Queer-looking fellow.
Now we're cancelled.
Yes, I suppose he would look queer to you. Maybe I'll go see if I can find him. I had some questions about Easthaven first, however.
Easthaven? Lived here for quite a span, I have. Things have been getting worse of late, though.
Do you mean the weather, perhaps?
Aye, the weather's been going from bad to worse. Never seen it get so cold this early in the year, and there's no sign of it letting up. With all this snow, the passes to the south are going to get snowed in early.
Do you know where I can find Hrothgar's house?
Hrothgar's house is in the center northern part of town. It's the one with the gaps in the overhang. Hrothgar swears he's going to fix it, but I'll believe that when I see it. He's always running around trying to take care of everyone else. Wait, why are you going to see him anyway, planning to join his expedition?
I was thinking about it. Actually, I'll say, I'll play dumb. I'll be like, what expedition?
Yeah, word is Hrothgar's been so rattled by that messenger from Kuldahar collapsing dead at the front door of the Temple of Tempus that he wants to put together a band to go see what's going on down south.
What did this messenger say?
Oh, damned if I know. Only Everard over at the temple and Hrothgar would know for sure, I suppose. Still, if it's enough to get the two of them riled up, can't be good. Well, since you're new in town, you probably want to get a room at the Snowdrift Inn. It's on the eastern side of town. The innkeeper Quimby he's a right enough sort. He should have plenty of rooms available, but he just got an elf guest from the south, so at least one room is taken.
I instantly forgot about the elf. So he had a special sword or something, right? I must take my leave. Farewell. Apparently there's a temple to Tempus.
She was surprisingly informative.
I should visit.
Agreed.
I knew that there was one, but it slipped my mind for some reason. Now that I feel more whole with my equipment.
What's more, the weather is going to turn soon. I suggest we join that expedition before we're stuck here.
I believe this is my church.
Look at this.
Do you know this woman?
What a marvel.
Hello, my name is Akalia. I'm an initiate here at the Temple of Tempus. I help Everard maintain the temple armory and perform rituals.
Well met, Akalia. I'm Adelbrand Krall. You're an initiate in the Tempest faith, just like me, eh? I didn't realize the Lord of Battles was so popular up here.
Tempus is revered a great deal by the barbarian tribes up here. They call him Tempus. We immigrants see a lot of conflict and violence in these parts, and people want to make sense out of it all.
Barbarian tribes, how do they feel about the 10 towns being here?
It changes from season to season, from year to year. Like all things, they are mistrustful of us immigrants, and often view our settlements here as an intrusion on their land. Sometimes they trade with us, sometimes they war with us.
Don't the barbarians worship as we do? Is there not common ground built upon our shared faith?
The barbarians know him as Tempus, and just that difference is a source of mistrust itself. The native barbarians do not believe that foreigners understand what Tempus really stands for. We know that the barbarians are just a few peaks away, and we immigrants understand the danger that they bring into our lives.
You said we immigrants. Where are you from?
Apparently Sweden or something. I am from... Shit, now her accent seems retarded. I'm from where you are.
I was born on the south side of Neverwinter. That's why I sound like I'm a Swede.
Oh my... I'm originally from Neverwinter. Can't you hear it in my accent?
We just went to opposite high schools. That's why I sound different.
I came here to aid Battlelord Everard when the former war priest Renfeld was
She's sick of our shit. She just walked away.
She did it on her own? What?
She's like, fuck this.
She's like, fuck you.
I shall do my
You're
best.
unserious people.
It seems you have a way with the ladies.
You know me.
Hrothgar mentioned there were strangers in town. What is it you want?
I am Dulindir. Are you the high priest of this temple?
Yes, I am Everard. Everard of Tempus, battle priest of the Lord of Battles. What brings you here?
You carry scars of war, Everard. Were you wounded in battle?
These eyes have seen battle, yes. And my skin bears the mark of swords and axes. That was long ago. Now my place is here.
Why would you leave battle behind?
Because there are many ways one may serve one's god. I am of the Order of the Broken Blade. My duty is to watch this place.
Okay, my character would look back at Adelbrand and be like, and what order do you serve?
I'm just an initiate.
Order of the Broken Blade, what is that?
Yes, we were warriors. Wounded in battle, our injuries now keep us far from the front lines. Still, we are fit to guard holy sites to our Lord.
This is a holy site.
It is sacred to Tempus, yes. It marks the field where the barbarian Jared gave up his life ages ago. He lies encased in stone beneath this temple.
The man who stopped the one known as Arachon, I see. What happened?
Jared was a shaman who lived long ago. He brought unity to the northern tribes and led them to victory against the army of Arachon, at the cost of his life.
How did he die?
Once Arachon saw his army routed by Jared and the northern tribes, he sought to bring the Hells to his aid. Arachon opened a gate to the lower plains.
He brought demons to the battlefield. The northern tribes would have been destroyed.
I do not believe that. Jared did. It is said that Tempus himself appeared to Jared upon the battlefield, and Jared took that as a sign.
A sign to do what?
Jared believed Tempus was calling him to sacrifice himself for his people to ensure victory. And so he cast his body into the portal, his blood fusing it to stone. It lies entombed beneath the temple to this day.
You don't sound like you agree with Jared's choice.
Jared had no need to sacrifice himself. Tempus's appearance was a test of faith, proof Jared's people had already won the field that day. Jared failed his god and died a coward's death.
It sounded like he sacrificed himself for the greater good. Are you sure his death was in vain? Jared did seal the
One dies for Tempus with a blade in one's hand, not by martyring oneself within the embrace of infernal magics. Jared's duty was to stand with his comrades, not cast himself to his death when the field was already theirs.
Look at the words that are capitalized. That's interesting. His sacrifice may have prevented others' deaths, Everard.
Sacrifice? Let me say this of sacrifice, young one, then we shall speak of this no more. Sacrifice is a death that has meaning. When it is in vain, it is not sacrifice. It is a waste. That is the lesson of Jared's stone.
How is it a waste? I don't understand that. That's weird. Am I missing something? What do you guys think?
Nah, I think this guy's got an ulterior motive.
And this stone is buried beneath the temple?
Aye, a great stone disk that holds Jared's corpse for eternity. And so I watch and guard it in Tempus's name.
I must take my leave. Farewell.
This battered steel helmet is crested with the 5 serpentine heads of a hydra. The inscription upon its stand reads, "The Helm of Gardum Greenaxe." Gardum was the captain of the famed adventuring company, the Dragonclaw clan. The fate of this legendary swordsman remains a mystery, though he is presumed to be dead. He was last seen entering the marsh of Tun alone.
Do you understand what these relics are?
This is a large shield with a symbol of a white sword emblazoned upon its surface. Numerous dents and scratches indicate the shield has seen many battles. The shield of Ihonen, a veteran of many battles against the Utgard barbarians, Ihonen was slain whilst battling a white dragon matriarch upon the waves of Lac-Dinashare. His body and his blade were never recovered. But they got his shield. Because it floated.
I see.
What's down here?
The huge warhammer looks as if it would take the combined strength of 2 men to wield it. Its thick steel head is bound with studded bronze bands and is speckled with what appears to be dried blood. The inscription upon its stand reads, "Bone Cracker." This magnificent weapon belonged to the legendary warrior Dumark the Fist, who died in the assault on Dragonspear Castle. Perhaps one day I will wield Bone Cracker.
Look at this sword. The blade of this it's a battle axe is buried deep into the stand upon which it rests. Hundreds of tiny notches have been whittled into its black oaken's handle. The inscription upon its stand reads, "Bloody Ashram's Axe." This merciless warlord reputedly used this axe to personally execute his prisoners. He was eventually brutally dismembered by his own troops.
Oh my.
Yes, these are great treasures here.
Do you two name your weapons?
Yes, this hammer's name is Steve. Now you see this round shield here with a number of wicked barbs protruding from its surface. A flaming sword, the holy symbol of Tempus, has been etched into the center of the shield. Inscription upon its stand reads, "The Shield of Margeth, of the Order of the Steel Fang. Never heard of it.
I'm sure this is all very important to these people.
None of it is feeding my belly.
I think I shall name my halberd after the first victim it fells.
I hope his
Yes.
name's Steve.
Thank the gods. Whoever you are, you picked the perfect time to wander by. I could really use some help. My name is Fisk Fivefinger. Who might you be? The name's Absol, but please, we don't have time for such pleasantries. I need your help. What seems to be the problem? A wolf! Somehow got into my workshop. He's tearing the place apart. It attacked me as I was opening the shop this morning. I was so startled by the sight of the beast that I accidentally broke the key off in the lock while trying to get away. I can't even get back in. Your shop? What do you sell? I'm a scrimshander. I carve the huge, bony skulls of knucklehead trout into fine works of art. This summer, Southlanders will come up and buy my pieces to take back to the fancy shops, that is, of course. What is it exactly that you want me to do? I'd be most grateful if you could go in there and get rid of that stupid thing for me. Then I could get back my scrimshaw. Of course, you'll have to find a way to get the door open first. How am I supposed to get the door open if you broke the key off in the lock? Break it down if you have to. I doubt it'll come to that, though. Judging by the looks of you, I'd say you've picked more than your share of the locks. My door shouldn't be much of a challenge. Very well. I'll dispatch your troublesome hound shortly. I sincerely thank you. The door to my shop is just around the corner here. Please get rid of that demonic canine as soon as possible.
I don't suppose you have any experience with wolves.
I've killed things that were about the size of a wolf. Excellent work, Gnome.
Many thanks. He tries to hide and fails miserably. Ah! Stab at thee! Ha ha! Stab at thee!
He wasn't lying.
Oh! Ah, covered in its blood!
The floorboards in this corner have been torn away. Evidence of tooth and claw marks suggests that they were chewed through from below.
Why would it climb from the basement up to here?
It must have smelled something.
The bones of these knucklehead trout have spilled out of their overturned barrel onto the floor. Several of the bones appear to have been gnawed upon.
He must have been hungry.
Oh, the bones. I have one of these. I was whittling. This is what they do up here. This wooden workbench is cluttered with tools and scrimshaw shavings. Rows of knucklehead trout bones have been neatly arranged upon these shelves.
Well, let's go tell the gentleman the wolf problem's been taken care of.
Incredible! Ah, my friend, the wolf is no more. I am now a happy man. Thank you for helping me. Here's a little something for your trouble. Well, thank you. I must take my leave now. Farewell. He gave us a little pouch. Looks like 25 total.
Not too bad for easy work.
A prince's ransom, at least.
I wonder what's
What's
in
this
here.
thing?
Let's find out.
I'm just curious about the fishing. That's why I'm here. Look at this. Whoa. I'm going to take a peek.
Oh, it's a fish market. Good day, I am Churin. How may I help you?
Well met. I am Dulindir. What do you do here, Churin?
Me? Nothing much. I manage this warehouse here for the fishmongers, Gaspar. I get paid a sum to store scrimshaw and emergency food supplies here through the harsh winters.
That certainly sounds like it would be important in a place like this. What does the rest of Easthaven do?
Well, most of them fish for knucklehead trout and lack Denishire. It's not a rich living in terms of wealth, but living up here, a man can still lead a very rich life.
I see. Have you heard anything interesting around town lately?
Well, spending as much time as I do here in the stuffy old warehouse, I don't get to hear much gossip. If you really want to know what's going on in these parts, I suggest you buy a few rounds over at Winter's Cradle Tavern. You'll find that drinking and spinning yarns are two of Easthaven's favorite pastimes. Not much else to do here.
The tavern, eh? All right, I'll try my luck there. Farewell.
Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Damn! First of one elf, then another. Thought you kind didn't venture too far north.
Our kind, as you put it, has been everywhere already. Okay, that's... I don't want to be that elf. Right. We were here first, bitch.
You're on stolen land, human.
Yeah.
Basically want to slay evil wizards.
Yeah, I don't care about fucking elves.
That's what we're about. Evil wizards. Especially lawful evil wizards.
I wonder what's down here.
Yo, mama.
I'm curious about the fishing around these parts.
Speaking of fish,
Oh, shit.
Woo!
It's a blue bitch.
this woman has the skin like the surface of the lake, light green hair, and delicate features, like that of an elf. At your approach, she begins to sing a soft, flowing song, like the sound of a great undersea current. But you have no idea why the song reminds you of that. In the moment, the song and the feeling passes, and the woman looks at you hopefully.
Who in the hells are you? What are you doing here?
The woman looks pained, but she does not respond.
Farewell, then. You'd best conceal yourself if you don't want the other townsfolk to see you.
Edelbrand, who was that? What was that?
Some kind of sea spirit, I believe. Best not to interfere with whatever she needs.
Hey,
Perhaps we should go talk to Hrothgar now.
that poor woman, she looked like she was suffering for some reason. She looks blue, like she has some illness. I hope,
Do you mean the sea spirit?
my vision is haunted by her visage. This is a big place? Hrothgar, anyone? We're just gonna go and eat. I told you.
I will do as you ask.
Come here, my friends. Look at this rug.
Hey. Oh, here.
Well met, friend, and welcome to my home. Make yourselves comfortable, but try not to break anything. Many of these curiosities that you see lying about have sentimental value.
Sentimental value. You don't strike me as the sentimental type.
Oh, they're all remembrances of my adventuring days. Little trinkets and the like that I picked up here and there. More keepsakes than valuables, really. Leftovers from my days of fortune and glory.
Adventuring days. So you're retired then?
Semi-retired, actually. This region is still untamed and fraught with many dangers. I've had plenty of opportunities in the last few years to take up my sword and shield and do battle with those who threaten the safety of Easthaven and its neighbors. In fact, I'm planning such an expedition right now. That is what I wanted to speak to you about.
What sort of expedition? I'm actually traveling with a few of my mentors right now. I'm sure they would be very eager to hear more.
We've received word from Kaldahar, our neighbors to the south, that evil forces are stirring nearby in the spine of the World Mountains. I am organizing and leading a party from Easthaven south to Kaldahar Valley to investigate. You look to be capable enough. Perhaps you'd like to join us. What say you?
I say, what sort of evil forces are we talking about here?
I don't really know.
Curious.
The message wasn't too specific. I suppose if you want more details, you could ask old Everard over at the temple, but time's a-wasting.
What do you fellows say?
Could be a good time.
Agreed.
Excellent. Glad to have you on board. I plan to assemble the rest of the expedition and set out for Kaldahar within a few days. With storms brewing in the mountains, I'd rather we depart sooner. But there are matters that require my attention here about town.
What sort of matters? Perhaps we could help you.
Actually, now that I think about it, maybe you can help. Pomab, the local shopkeeper, has recently expressed concern over the rapidly thinning stock of his store.
I'm sure he has.
He's been
We do not like him.
The regular caravan from Caer is long overdue, and that if they don't arrive soon, he's sure to be out of business. Normally, I take Pomab's whining with a grain of salt, but with heavy snows on the way, it would be best to make sure that caravan makes it through.
So what is it you want me to do?
I want you to find that caravan. Leave town by way of the South Bridge and scout the hills west of Loch Dinnershire, between Easthaven and Caer Caravans always stick close to the shoreline this time of year.
I see. That can be done.
Once you find it, see the caravan safely to Easthaven. In the meantime, I'll assemble the rest of the expedition and make the final plans for our journey. Return here as quickly as you can. We must make for Kaldahar Pass while the weather is favorable. Good luck. Safe journey.
It seems we have an opportunity laid before us by the gods and fate itself. Ingratiate ourselves with this pomage and also have a chance to scout out the nearby region.
Let us make haste, then.
Well, certainly not much in this town other than temporary respite. We have greater fortunes ahead of us, I see. Yes.